Did you know that World War II claimed the lives of nearly 85 million people? That's more than the entire population of Germany today. The war kicked off with a bang on September 1st, 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, forever altering the course of history. When Japan launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, it shocked the world and pulled the United States into the fray. The Battle of Stalingrad wasn't just a fight. It was a brutal, months-long clash that marked the turning point in the war, shifting momentum away from Nazi Germany. Imagine the chaos of D-Day. On June 6, 1944, over 156,000 Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy in one of the largest military operations ever. The Holocaust remains one of humanity's darkest periods, with 6 million Jews and millions of others tragically lost in a horrific campaign of genocide. Behind closed doors, the Manhattan Project was underway, leading to the creation of the atomic bomb, a game-changer that would end the war in the Pacific. As men went off to fight, women took charge on the home front, stepping into roles in factories and offices, forever changing gender roles in society. World War II wasn't just about ground troops. It sparked technological innovations like radar and the jet engine that would shape the future of aviation. The Blitz was more than just bombings. It was a test of British resilience, as citizens braved nightly raids that lit up the skies over London. The first ever use of paratroopers in combat saw brave soldiers parachuting into enemy territory, changing the face of military strategy forever. The Geneva Conventions were redefined by the war's horrors, establishing vital laws to protect those who are not participating in hostilities. Winston Churchill's electrifying speeches, especially "We shall fight on the beaches," rallied a nation and inspired people around the globe. The Soviet Union's Red Army played a heroic role in liberating Eastern Europe, with their decisive capture of Berlin marking the war's end in Europe. Did you know that over 16 million Americans served in the military during World War II? Their sacrifices shaped a generation and a nation. The V-2 rocket wasn't just a weapon. It was the world's first long-range guided missile, paving the way for the space race that followed. The Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan, had grand ambitions, seeking to dominate vast territories through their military might. Operation Barbarossa, the massive Nazi invasion of the Soviet Union, is often regarded as one of the largest military operations in history. The code name for the Normandy invasion was Operation Overlord, and it was meticulously planned over several months. Adolf Hitler survived over 40 assassination attempts during the course of the war. The German Enigma machine was a complex encryption device, cracked by the Allies, greatly aiding their war effort. Did you know that the United States produced more than 300,000 aircraft during World War II? The siege of Leningrad lasted 872 days, making it one of the longest and most devastating sieges in history. Anne Frank wrote her famous diary while hiding from the Nazis in an Amsterdam attic. The B-29 superfortress Enola Gay dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. The Battle of Midway, fought in June 1942, was a pivotal naval battle that shifted the balance of power in the Pacific. The Yalta Conference in February 1945 saw Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin discussing the post-war reorganization of Europe. The Nuremberg trials prosecuted major war criminals, setting a precedent for international law. The term Blitzkrieg, meaning lightning war, described Germany's rapid and powerful military tactics. The Navajo code talkers used their native language to create an unbreakable code for secure military communications. The USS Missouri was the site of Japan's official surrender on September 2, 1945, ending the war. The Maginot Line was a series of fortifications built by France along its German border, which was ultimately bypassed by German forces. Operation Torch was the Allied invasion of North Africa in November 1942, marking the first major American involvement in the European theater. The Bataan Death March saw thousands of American and Filipino prisoners of war forced to march under brutal conditions. The Battle of the Bulge, fought in the winter of 1944 to 1945, was the last major German offensive on the Western Front. Did you know that Erwin Rommel, known as the Desert Fox, was a highly respected German field marshal? Rosie the Riveter became a cultural icon, representing women who worked in factories and shipyards during the war. The Great Escape saw 76 Allied prisoners of war break out of the German Stalag Luft III camp, inspiring a famous movie. The Warsaw Uprising in 1944 was a major resistance effort by the Polish underground against Nazi occupation. Did you know that the term GI originally stood for government issue and referred to American soldiers? The T-34 tank was a highly effective Soviet tank that played a crucial role on the Eastern Front. The Bretton Woods Conference in 1944 established the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. The war led to significant advancements in medicine, including the mass production of penicillin. The German battleship Bismarck was one of the most powerful warships of its time, and its sinking in 1941 was a major victory for the Allies. The Soviet sniper, Lyudmila Pavlichenko, was one of the deadliest snipers in history, with 309 confirmed kills. The United States dropped over 1.5 million tons of bombs during World War II. The island of Iwo Jima was the site of one of the bloodiest battles in the Pacific, famously captured in the photograph of the flag raising on Mount Suribachi. The Battle of El Alamein in 1942 was a turning point in the North African campaign, marking the beginning of the end for Axis forces in Africa. The British codebreakers at Bletchley Park played a crucial role in deciphering the Enigma code, significantly aiding the Allied war effort. The Turing machine, an early computer designed by Alan Turing, was instrumental in breaking German codes. Operation Market Garden, an ambitious Allied operation in 1944, aimed to secure key bridges in the Netherlands but ultimately failed. The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor was part of a broader strategy to cripple the U.S. Pacific Fleet and ensure Japanese dominance in the Pacific. The Battle of Kursk in 1943 was the largest tank battle in history, involving over 6,000 tanks. The aftermath of the war led to the creation of NATO in 1949, a military alliance designed to keep Soviet expansion in check. Japanese kamikaze pilots conducted daring suicide missions, turning the tide of naval warfare and leaving an indelible mark on history. The war sparked social revolutions, with many countries pushing for decolonization as empires crumbled under the weight of conflict. Countless films, books, and artworks emerged from this tumultuous period, keeping the stories and lessons of World War II alive for generations. Did you know that in 1 year alone, 1944, more than 400,000 American soldiers lost their lives? Each number represents a life cut short and a family forever changed. The war reshaped global politics, sowing the seeds for the Cold War rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union that would dominate the next decades. Lastly, the legacy of World War II continues to resonate today, reminding us of the courage and resilience of those who fought for freedom and justice. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thrilling explorations into history.